Hey guys, this is Georgia Smith. I am daughter of Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog, and you're listening to Stu's Wrestling Podcast.
You're listening to Stu's Wrestling Podcast. It's time. Your host, Stu Palmer.
Well, this is a man I've wanted to get on the show for some time. He jokes about this as well. He has made many jokes about him coming on this show. It's took nearly 2 years, but he's here. It's Justin Clapper of Justin Clapper's Pro Wrestling Show, and he's dropped 2 episodes so far for his new show that is out. One with custodian of Progress Wrestling Lee McAteer, and one with US wrestler Jake Hollister, who has also toured the UK. So yeah, big episodes and more to come, I'm sure. But yes, Justin Clapper, a huge proponent of the AWA. So he loved Greg Gagne, he loved Kurt Hennig, Nick Bockwinkel, you name it, anything AWA. If you want to know about stuff and knowledge, man, he is the man to listen to in this part 1 of 2. It's a bumper show split into 2. So this is part 1 with Justin Clapper, who's been in the wrestling business since 1997. Incredible. Here's part 1. Enjoy. My guest all the way from Wisconsin in the good old US of A. It is my good friend, my compadre all the way from the USA today. It is Justin Clapper and the host of Justin Clapper's Pro Wrestling Show, which you've just dropped an episode overnight as well for that. So yeah, great to have you on, man. Finally, I've let you down not having you on sooner.
You never let me down, Stu. But yes, finally it's happened. I mean, I tell you what, we've been talking. This is at least a year in the making,
if not more.
Here's the reason why. The reason why I didn't complain about anything was, if I start complaining that it's been so long, then I got to live up to the hype, So I just waited patiently. So no, you've been busy. I don't get me wrong. You're a good friend. I keep an eye on everything that you do. I wish I could watch every episode, but I love that I get on and watch some clips and everything. And you do a great job. And I'm not just saying that because
and you, mate, and you know that. Like, you've been great. You've been great to me. You got me in touch with people within the industry as well, which we'll get onto because you've got great links within the industry of wrestling. You've been around it for a long time too, which, I look up to that. I tell you this, don't I, off camera. You're one of the good guys within the business as well. So helpful. But yeah, let's get into the new show. Because I've been waiting for episodes to come out, man. And finally we got one.
You're going to get the full disclosure here. So I planned on doing the Pro Wrestling Show for a long time. Now I'm the one-man band over here, trying to do everything. And a lot of times I think I know technology better than I actually do. So even with the drop last night with Lee McAteer, his very first interview since they've been co-owner of Progress, it's up, it's ready to go. I still haven't answered. I got a text from him and he said, it looks like it went up on your personal YouTube. Well, it is still the Pro Wrestling Show, but it's very, I don't know about you, but to change the names and do everything.
Oh, my days, mate.
I have uploaded a full disclosure. My very first guest on the Pro Wrestling Show was the biggest wrestler ever, Franco Varga. Yes. And I filmed it last fall, or it's probably still summer, late summer. Every time I would go to upload that to YouTube, I mean, it was just a comedy of errors, except I wasn't laughing. It would say, I can't upload it. It's too long. And it would take forever to upload. And then it would tell me after it got done uploading, hey, that video was too long. You need to do this, this, and this. And then the video was gone. And I would tell Frank, and it was before Franco went to the UK. So I'm calling this one with Lee McAteer the debut episode, but I got Franco Varga as one of those things that hopefully this is successful and I can go, hey, look at this. This is a hidden gem We had Franco on. It just couldn't. But I got to be honest with you. We're our own worst critics. I'll watch the stuff back and go, oh my God.
Without a doubt, mate. But that's good in a way. I look back on stuff and you think, I've said that word, I've made a silly noise umpteen times. There's a lot of repetition, but we're more critical on ourselves than we are others, aren't we? Me and you. There's no question of that.
I wasn't going to bring this up, but here I go. Like we talked off camera. My very first interview that I've ever done on YouTube, of course, during the pandemic, I was trying to do, what can I do to help the sport I love and the guys and girls that are still doing it? So I started doing interviews. I happen to be, hopefully she would say the same, but good friends with Alicia Atut. And she, as you know, is the interview queen. Nobody does it better, I think.
Absolutely. She's fantastic.
I had her on. I can't even watch that interview, Stu, because I'm so
full of. You're hard on yourself. I maintain this, mate. You are very hard on yourself.
I'm so full, and even still to the day, I do it and I catch myself. But every other word was and it's very. I don't know about you, but I'm always, even when I'm interviewing, I'm always trying to think. Don't say don't say If I was watching this interview and I didn't know JC, Justin Clapper, whoever I am, I'd be like, I want to punch that guy in the face if he says one more time. Because I start to latch on to stuff when people say, and I'm going, wow, stop it, lady, stop it, whoever. So, yeah, that's what. But then I had Alicia on again later on, and it was well improved. So it was like one of those markers in my brain that I'm like, I've gotten better. I still have to consciously control how I say what I'm saying. And sometimes you can tell if you go back on any of the interviews that I've done for other places, you can tell when I'm a little bit nervous or I've got a bigger guest on, because instead of going, hey, Stu, I love being on your show, and I'm going, hello, Stu. It's very nice to be on Stu's Wrestling Podcast. You can tell I'm thinking about my pacing and how I say it. And hopefully we all get better at stuff like that. But I want to go back to, and I told you before, I go, this interview is going to be for people that are like, whoa.
Hey, it can be scattered. We can do scattered, mate. It doesn't matter. Format, what format? Do you know what I mean?
Well, there's certain people in the industry that you're a big one, but there's a lot of us who are, we're not Conrad Thompson. We're not.
No, of course not.
Talk is Jericho.
Absolutely.
But we do help each other a lot, and it's a two-way street. The reason I help you out is before everything, we're friends.
Absolutely.
But you've done so much for me as well, and always try to return the favor tenfold. So I think we have a very small circle of there's people that me, you, our friends at Powered 4. I shouldn't even start naming stuff because I'm going to leave somebody out. But there's a lot of us that look out for each other.
Absolutely. But also you, Justin, if I do something wrong, I know you'll tell me. Do you know what I mean? Which has happened a couple of times, but we don't need to go into that. Me getting on my high horse, yes, but yeah, you have had to rein me in before now, but I appreciate that, and it's because you're older than me as well. I do look up to you, but I appreciate everything.
Well, I appreciate it too. Yeah, and
anything you've got to tell me, I know you'll tell me, and that's the difference because there's not a lot of people like that, mate. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah, no, and a lot of times it's great because I can try to let there's some come from the school of let somebody make their own mistakes, and then there's like, hey, listen, there are certain things I would stay away from if I were you. I'll still let you make, but I have to say it. I have to say it out loud. I got to say one thing that's fantastic that I want to talk about. I've been wanting to talk to you about off the record, on camera, but we've touched on it. But when we both, and God rest his soul, Del Wilkes.
Oh, my days, man. What a guy. What a guy. Yeah.
I said to you,
political standing and stuff like that. That's just people, isn't it? But him, the person, and what he did. I can live with that. The man spoke it as it was. He had his beliefs and all that. I don't know much about politics. I don't pertain to. But yeah, Del Wilkes, getting that man on, mate. Just incredible. And I know you knew him a lot. Longer before me, watching him as a kid when you watched him in the 80s.
If you watched, I always said I wanna do a super interview on some of the guys that we have interviewed at the same time, because he was one of the first where you can watch my interview and then you watch your interview and they're totally different. And actually, full disclosure, I'm a huge American Wrestling Association fan. That's what I grew up on. I'm a huge AWA. My interview with Del Wilkes, I don't even think touched on the Patriot or any WCW. And that's why I think, we could put a super interview together. And clip it up, and it would be awesome. And then I feel like, as a tribute to a guy like Del, we could throw it out there. But no, political things, I've always said, I don't get political. I have my views just like we all do.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain politicians that I'm like, you know what? They're okay, or I really don't agree with, but I was taught from a very young age, especially over here now, everything is so political, and it's unfortunate. My mom used to say, when I go to school or when I'm playing football, not soccer, but that adult, that coach, whatever, that's your parent for those 2 hours. We didn't have a whole lot of, I'm going to come to practice because my kid didn't get to play. I would come home and complain and be like, that's it. So that's where I'm at on politics. People will support who they want to support. There are a lot of things going on in the world right now.
JC, it's doing my head in. People are the media now over all this with Ukraine and Russia. I'll hold my hands up, it's horrific and all, but I don't pertain to know anything. People are experts. I'm just going to put it out there right now, and it does my head in. It does my head in. They don't know diddly squat. They don't know diddly squat, mate.
And I never understood this. Certain companies I've worked for and certain companies that go on now will be, we've had Donald Trump over here, and people will jump on one side or the other. And I've always said, listen, why would you do that? No matter what my personal political beliefs are, if I'm in a business and everybody's money is the same color, there is really politics for the most part are not going to affect the service I'm providing. Just shut up about it. Why would I try to piss off? Because I'm going to piss off half the people, no matter what my side is. Look at us. No, but we don't know anything about politics, and that's what we're talking about. Let's get back to the politics.
Absolutely.
Pro wrestling.
But what I will say is, you've been around, obviously shows are running, and I know you like to get to shows over there in America. I know you're very avid about that, and the talent, the amount of talent, So yeah, some shows you've been to more recently, COVID, it does seem like we're at the back end of COVID now. We'd like to think so. It's vibing everywhere now, isn't it, in terms of wrestling across, UK and the USA especially. So yeah, some stuff you've seen, just plug away, man. Plug away.
The funny thing about COVID, that's not a way to start a sentence, is it? The funny thing about COVID, the weird thing, that pandemic basically kind of started. I was up in Toronto. And I got back, this is the end of February of 2020. By June in 2020, here in Wisconsin, we could run shows. And I know you guys were in like severe lockdowns and lockdown after lockdown. And here I was at shows in Wisconsin, and it was so great to see the fans and everybody, because it was such a scary, everybody can say what they want to say now, but I couldn't get out of Toronto, Canada fast enough, because I felt like a a horror movie I was in. And I'm like, I'm going to get stuck in Canada. I need to get out. And now it's, do we put a mask on? Do we not put a mask on? Now it's just like, well, I sanitize. My sister, who's a school teacher, had said, listen, I don't have a problem putting a mask on because during flu season, even before the pandemic, wearing a mask with everybody being sick might not have been a bad idea with her in the classroom. And I said, yeah, I agree. But no, back to the shows. So Wisconsin kept going, working through. I was able to do a lot of shows, just get there. And I don't care if you're my only pet peeve in wrestling, and I'm going to say it out here and get chastised, is you need to be trained. Now, a lot of organizations, this is my political fence to stand on. If I'm gonna duct tape 3 light tubes together and beat you with it and hit you with the pots and pans and ladder, do I have to have been trained in the art of professional wrestling? Probably not. I'm sure. Don't you guys have a term called chavs over there?
We do. I'm sure you have an American equivalent. But yeah, I think we can equivalent,
we could probably get people off the street to go beat the heck out of each other without having. But I mean, I'm a big fan of the storyline and the build. And
can I just? I don't want to. I know it's about you. Do you know who I do have a newfound respect for after watching Dark Side of the Ring? Though I know he's had his demons. I am not an extreme style fan. I like the ECW. Modern weapons matches and stuff like that. It's just not my cup of tea. I appreciate people like it. It's a subgenre of the business. But Nick Gage, the episode with Nick Gage on Dark Side, I got a newfound respect for the bloke. But I don't know.
And I didn't see it. So I'm not. Yeah.
I had my preconceptions of the guy. Obviously you know about him, but without seeing stuff, you see footage, bits here and there. Newfound respect for him.
Now, is it just me because of my training? But I think even last weekend, and today is March 2nd. I think the weekend passed. I'll go through everybody's clips on Facebook, and it was from the top to bottom. I saw people just sharing pretty cringy spots that I'm like, why are we doing these things that really don't relate to telling the story that's putting somebody's well-being on the line? There's some really spots that I'm like, yeah, on Saturday night, you got the big pop, but is it worth it? Hobbling out of bed on Monday morning, what did it do? How did it advance the storyline? How did it advance my character? How did it advance? So I'll sound very, very much like, dare I say his name, the other JC, Jim Cornette, and I don't mean to. But that's the same as politics, Stu.
Absolutely.
I hate Jim Cornette, I hate WWE, I hate AEW, and it's like nobody realizes how good we've had it with the amount of entertainment.
Apples and oranges. That's the only way I can relate that. You more so. You're more old school than me. You were watching the AWA. I only came in it was like 90. I started watching it in 90. I didn't know about the territories over here. Do you know what I mean? We didn't get them. We did not get them. We had World of Sport, WWE, WWF, WCW. And then it was years later. And then through the network and DVDs, that's how I found out about the NWA previous to WCW, AWA, which I know you love. So you come from a total different time, don't you? Even in that short time frame.
Yeah, Stu. It was everybody's very lucky to have YouTube and a lot of stuff on there right now. Where if I wanted to see wrestling, I had to record it off the TV in order to watch it on any other day but Saturday. And then I remember right when I first started training, 1997. There was this thing that I discovered called, it'd been around. You got to understand, when I say I discovered things, there's a lot of things that are around right now that have been around for 10 years, and I've just discovered them. But I discovered eBay and the internet. And I went on, and the first thing I did was I ordered Dynamite Kid versus Tiger Mask, the best of 7 that they had when in Japan. It was fantastic, and that was wrestling ahead of its time. But now there's a lot with the networks. I know everything switched over to Peacock over here, so a lot of the classic content has taken a long time. But I'm a big fan of physical media. I'm going to keep my DVDs because I never know. Just like people they're going to watch Friends on Netflix, and all of a sudden, hey, somebody else has bought the rights now, and it's not there. I keep my DVDs. I'm very lucky. I can't push these guys enough, but Rich and John from Powered 4 TV. Speaking of not knowing technology, there's a clip out there of Dick Beyer, Dr. X versus Horst Hoffman, and it's got my logo stamp in it because Powered 4 TV had acquired a bunch of wrestling footage that was royalty free. And I'm like, they send me their list, and Rich said, pick like 5 or 10 matches that you'd like to do. I sent them like 37.
I'm not surprised. It doesn't surprise me.
Like,
I gotta see with you, Mum. Absolutely.
So I'm going to have clips out there. There's one out there that's actually not on my channel. I don't know. I uploaded it to. I got to work on my technology.
You'll get there. I know you'll get there.
I'd love to do, and I've told you this off camera. I would love to get you, Mad Dog Mike, some of us. Let's watch. Let's put out content. We're watching stuff, and let's talk about it. Even though we can't physically, I'm always on you about Super Clash 3.
Oh my days! Which they dispute to this day, don't they? What it drew and stuff like that. But I know you're a big, you love that. You love that. There was a lot, I heard about it afterwards, didn't I? But there was a lot of people that bash it, but I know you won't bash it.
No. Well, look at a lot of people will say, that when was Super Clash 3? Oh, I don't know. December 13th, 1988, down in Chicago. And they say it was around 1300. But you look at that and you're thinking that's the end of the AWA. That's near the end. But look at the talent that is on that card, and look at the talent they still had after that. Now I know Hogan and Heenan and Ventura all went to WWF at the time, but they were still having look who was you had the privilege, and you didn't even know it. You had the privilege to interview the final AWA World Tag Team Champion in Del Wilkes, the Trooper. But there's a lot of talent going on there. I always try to look for it. Now, here's a little tidbit when you're searching the internet. In the fall of 1988, when all these world-class Memphis AWA were planning this super card, and you'll watch all the big documentaries where everybody's like, those guys couldn't even agree on a cup of coffee order, so that they weren't a threat to McMahon. But it was desperation. It was Hail Mary time. But if you start watching those shows, their weekly shows leading up to that, there was talent bleeding all over, and there are some great matchups that are, in my opinion, hidden gems. You got to go back.
I love it when you were sending me stuff, and I like the footage is like, it's obviously come from VHS where it's been uploaded. It's got that oldie worldy, the quality, the quality aspect that isn't there, but I like that, and you can still hear the commentary, you can still see it all. I like that, the roughness of it, considering where technology is now. But look,
the one thing I did on the network is, I don't know if you guys still have it, but if you go back where they have world-class championship wrestling on your network,
it's on there. You can go
back as far as you can. Yeah, I was able to go back to like 1981, 82.
Amazing.
And I wasn't watching it because I didn't get it up here. But yeah, I mean, it still holds up.
Yeah.
Storylines.
Where you send somebody, say they've watched WWE Attitude Era onwards, and then you send them something from the late 80s into early 90s, mid 90s, when you send it them, they're not going to watch it. I love the fact that you can go back to the early 80s. I like the fact you send me stuff because I want to watch it. But I know for a fact when I send people anything like that, there's no way they watch it. Yeah, I'll watch it.
I got to get this out.
Go
My
on,
funniest
get it on
story.
camera. Get it on
My
camera.
funniest story
Oh,
that I have.
I
Dude,
had
I
it on-
went on.
I had the same DVD. At Once Upon a Time.
I went on Facebook. You know, there's all kinds of wrestling groups, and I try to keep quiet. I don't know why. 'Cause usually, I'll say I like certain. My favorite wrestler in the entire world in the history of growing up, and I would love to have him on the show. He doesn't know I exist. I wish he did, but it's Greg Gagne, Vern Gagne's son.
Man.
And everybody's like, "Oh, Greg Gagne." I said, "Listen, that's when I turned the TV on when I'm a kid. That's the first guy I saw larger than life teaming with Sergeant Slaughter, and I've been hooked on AWA ever since. I got a chance as a kid to go up and ask for his autograph and everything, and he's just been everything to me. I got a chance at AEW Full Gear in Baltimore to sit down, no cameras, but with Ronnie Garvin, and we talked.
Oh
And we had
man,
great stories about
JC, even his run in WWE when he was with Valentine. What a
rugged
guy.
Ronnie Garvin.
And in NWA. And in the NWA, man, as well. I know
people will get on him and Tommy Rich as they were like a paper champion.
No, they were brilliant.
Champions.
They were brilliant at what they did. They don't get enough credit. Ronnie Garvin, I love watching those matches back. Obviously, you predate that with your stuff that you've seen. But yeah, I'm with you. Rugged Ronnie Garvin. Sorry, I'm jumping in
No.
here.
I'm going to get back to this in case because people are going to, I apologize for anybody that has to take medication to focus. You're going to need it to watch this interview. So
Yes.
I jumped on a group because everybody would say, "What's your favorite match?" And one of the matches I remember watching was Nick Bockwinkel versus Kurt Hennig right before Kurt does his heel change. They did a 60-minute Broadway. And I remember seeing clips of that on TV, and I'm like, I always wanted to see the whole match. So I couldn't find it on YouTube. I couldn't find it anywhere. And I finally got into one of these wrestling groups, and they're like, dude, it's on the bonus disc of the Mr. Perfect DVD. This had been sitting on my shelf for how many years before I realized that because I would get these and I watch the doc, and then they're like, there's all kinds of bonus footage, and I just never really got to the second disc.
You made a faux pas there. You made a faux pas, JC. You got to get the second disc on or the third disc, depending on how much they do. You go there again. Hidden gems. I love watching the extra DVDs with the matches.
Yeah, I love it too, and I just can't believe that. Well, here's the thing: I bought these DVDs, a lot of my DVD collection, at a store that had. I don't know if you guys have this in the UK, but when they open the box and somebody accidentally cuts the DVD, they're like, they're not perfect; they're imperfect. This, of course, isn't one of them. But there'd be a slit, and then these DVDs went from $24.99 to $6.99.
Bloody hell!
Because the case,
yeah, okay.
And I had bought a lot of them at the same time. So, like the true spoiled brat that I am, and I've got this library. It's big now, and I know it doesn't mean anything when people have the network. But guess what? I always have access to my stuff.
I did away with my stuff collection. I looked at it as clutter, but another man's clutter is another man's treasure. So
and the only reason, listen, I would love to put all right, I got to tell this story.
Go on.
There's a lot of things that happen in this world, and I don't mean to make light of them. This is besides family, but my biggest tragedy, that's just like a first world tragedy. I found a gentleman this summer who had all of the AWA footage, and I got it on a hard drive, little hard drive, and paid a lot of money for it. A lot of money, because I had to pay for the 4 terabytes of footage.
Wow.
And it was all classic territory stuff.
That's some amount of storage, mate.
And it had AWA.
Bloody hell.
And I ended up buying another 4 terabytes of other classic footage from the guy. which I don't want to get anybody in trouble because I know Vince owns a lot of stuff. But listen, I'm not going to public it, but I wanted to go through all of the 70s stuff because the thing, Vince owns AWA, but there's very little of it that gets released. Anyway, I paid a lot of money for this. I plugged it in.
It's priceless though to you, that. So you can't put a price on it, mate. It might cost you a bit. Priceless, JC.
Which you'll understand my thing. I was working hard in the summer, and I said, I cannot wait for the cold Wisconsin winter to really dive into this. I plugged it in, was watching it on the same laptop I'm doing stuff here. My phone rang. I hit pause. I was in the middle of and she just passed away, a Candy Divine match.
Yes.
And bless her, I got lucky enough to meet her as a fan. But I hear, do you know when you plug something into your USB, it makes a little beeping noise?
Yeah, I do. I know it. Yeah, I know that noise.
I paused it. I'm on the phone. I walk off camera right now, and I hear it like it unhooked. It made that noise. And I go, that's odd. I went back. Doesn't recognize my hard drive anymore.
Oh,
no. I just took it into a professional and just talked to him yesterday, and the footage is unsalvageable.
Oh, no.
Yeah, which I thought, hey, I'm arguing with the guy, but it's not his fault. But I never dropped the hard drive. I babied it. That was maybe the third time that I had plugged it in. So I got to watch maybe an hour, 2 hours of footage.
Oh, no, man. I feel your pain. I feel your pain with that one.
Sucks. Well, now I'm afraid I got the other one that has other footage. I'm afraid to plug it in.
That would be like me having, the only way I can relate it really would be having like everything, the back catalogue of Bret Hart. So like Stampede, I would be, I know that's a superstar wrestler, encapsulated there, but that's, I would be devastated.
Have you seen the Calgary Hitman jersey that was just kind of floated around?
I think you might have sent that to me actually, or Angus did the other day. That looks smart, man. To be fair. Make sure to tune in to part 2, which is coming very, very soon with Justin Clapper. We talk the current wrestling product and a myriad of topics. We got a lot of stuff in on this episode. I wanted to make it a 2-parter, so please join us for part 2, which is coming very, very soon. And a big thank you to Chris Dutton, as always, for editing the show. Thank you, buddy. A big thank you to Mike Angus for the show intro, and thank you very much to Evade Escape for their track Already Know. And I know they are touring soon as well. They're getting back into the UK touring with their songs, so fantastic. And we will see you very, very soon for part 2 with Justin Clapper of Justin Clapper's Pro Wrestling Show. Enjoy.